This is the first of two clips on settled situations, where you'll be able to see all three officials for the majority of the situation as the ball moves around the field. In this situation, the blue team is in possession of the ball, and play is settled for a period of time, and you'll notice the officials maintain a triangle between all three officials, with the lead official on the left side of your screen, single side official at the top center of your screen, and the trail official in the bottom of your screen. The blue player carries the ball towards the lead official, who wisely backs up at an angle to keep the play in front of him, and then follows the play below goal line extended. Trail official pinches in a little bit, and the single side official covers the goal since the lead official was below goal line extended. On the turnover, trail official broke up field. As we watch the situation again, we're going to freeze the clip as the offensive player pushes the ball towards the goal from X. Once again, the blue player brings the ball down below goal line extended, and the field becomes a little stretched. The triangle is wide. Now, as the player comes up towards goal line extended, I'm going to pause right here and notice the position of the lead and single side officials as the play develops. We'll freeze it right here and see the lead and single side officials make no real attempt to get in closer to the play when there is a close crease play in front of the goal. This play would be covered much better with the single side official here inside the hash marks, and the lead official at this point in time should be closing in on the hash marks here to cover the crease area more fully between the lead and single side officials. This is a similar settled situation, but on the opposite half of the field, and you'll notice the officials are again in that good triangle position between all three officials, lead in the lower left, single on the far side of the field top center, and then the lead official on goal line extended to the right of your screen. Now here we'll just watch the officials do a very good job coming in and out of the field as the play moves. Lead official is on goal line. He comes into the field when the ball is far side. You see him move out when the ball becomes near side towards the bench. And you see the single side pinch in when the ball comes near side to the bench. So the objective in three-person mechanics is to maintain that triangle and to move in and out of the field in relation to the ball and where your partners are. So now let's flip over to the field diagram and dig into this mechanic more deeply. Here we're taking a look at settled situations. In particular, how the officials move so that they can keep the ball in the primary triangle area of coverage. So as you'll notice, the trail official near the very end of the wing line, who could also be a couple of steps in a little bit, the single side official a few yards above the crease line, or right on it, and the lead official right along above or below goal line extended by about a step or two. This creates the primary area of coverage between the three officials. And in a three-person crew, the officials work by moving in response to where the ball moves and where one another moves to keep the ball in this triangle as best as they can. So now we've grouped these officials together, so as we move, let's say the ball's coming down towards the end line, the officials move as well. As we're pushed out towards the sideline, the triangle stays. Say the ball comes up a little bit and out towards the bench sideline. So you'll notice that no matter how the ball moves around the field, the crew is always working to stay in this orientation. So now we're going to ungroup these officials and we're going to place some players on the ball out onto the field. So now right away, we have a couple of issues with how we're set up. Number one is the lead official is stuck on goal line here, and the single side official probably a little bit too close for what's about to happen. So we're going to move this ball around, and we're going to move the officials around and discuss what they're doing in that particular time. Couple of key things before we get going. The lead official has a few main responsibilities: the goal and the crease area, and this entire end line, any out of bounds. The single side official is also responsible for this crease line area. He's the secondary official for most pushes or crease violations and works with the lead official. The single side official is also responsible for this far sideline. And then the trail official has three main responsibilities. Number one is the goal on the far side of the field. So if we have a quick turnover, this official turns and runs up to cover that goal. Second is the potential for over and back. So if we had a missed skip pass that starts rolling up the field, trail official runs up and gets right to the midfield line to have either an offsides call, a push call, or the potential for the over and back call. But the most important job of the trail official, and it is always the most important job, is to watch the shooter on the shot. So whoever shoots the ball from wherever on the field, the trail official in a settled play is always, always, always watching that shooter. So let's take a look at this particular situation and see if we can't position the officials to cover the play a little bit better. So here's our primary coverage area. And right now you can see that the ball is out of it because the blue team is what's known as a 3-1-2 or a 2-1-3. So let's bring the lead official down a bit, and typically that player is going to be working a two-man game behind. So we'll be a little bit better in this orientation here. So when players set up two behind, they're usually working to try a pick-and-roll game behind or to have a quick pass from here up and to the weak side of the field. So we have to have coverage on this back-end area, which is why the lead drops down to below goal line extended. Single side official, seeing how the lead has dropped down, also drops and is now covering goal line extended. So now we'll bring this official out just a little bit. So here we have still the primary coverage area, and the play is just slightly outside of it, but it's still pretty much along the line of vision between the lead and the single. Now let's see this ball pass up. So the ball comes on up, and we're passing it to space. This player comes out, catches it. And so now, once again, we're outside of our main coverage area. So how do we fix this? Well, the single is going to bump out. Trail's probably going to come up just a touch, and then the lead official is going to get pulled like a rubber band right back to a step above or below goal line extended. So here we have, again, pretty much right in our primary coverage area. And we're, again, focusing on the things we're responsible for. Single is out wide just in case we have a missed pass, and he covers the single side. Trail is high enough to see the big picture of the field and cover the over and back if necessary. And the lead is where he needs to be for end line calls and all the crease play in front of him. So let's say this ball gets kicked up to the middle of the field. So for this pass, Trail's coming up. Single might come up just a touch more. There's a limit to how high the single really needs to come, and that's about 5 yards over or above the crease line, unless we get really stretched out. So right about here is still a good spot for single because not a lot is going to happen here between a lot of players. Most teams are not going to crowd up in this area because the defense doesn't have to move. So knowing this, and knowing that the blue team is going to try to run a play isolating from up top, we can stay a bit wide here. And because we have all this space in here, maybe single gets to come in a little bit. So now we're in a little bit of a shortened triangle, but again, Trail has all of this. So here we're going to run a very simple sweep play. So this is where as this player is running towards his defender, right about the top of the box, this blue player is going to cut out and down, drawing his defenseman with him. So as this player runs down, we're cutting down towards the interior of the field. We're dragging the red defender, and then this player makes a hard cut, face dodge or a split dodge, maybe a roll dodge to come off of this defender. And now, since we've drawn everyone, now this player has an 8-yard shot at the goal. So here is where we get a little bit interesting as a crew. So as that play is coming down, Trail's coming down with it, because this player only wants to shoot. So now we're getting ready for a shot, and Trail is going shooter, 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 so we can focus in on this player. Single side official pinching in just a touch, and the lead official is also pinching in, because again, the objective here is this player is going to shoot. And let's go ahead and say this player shoots and misses just wide and goes out of bounds. Well, first things first, lead official is following this ball, because we might have a contested end line play here, and let's just say blue just narrowly squeaks on by. So lead has this out of bounds. Single side official has eyes on the shooter and everybody else after the shot. Trail official has eyes on the shooter and then everyone else after the shot. So that was just a game scenario of all the responsibilities coming into play. Lead official on the end line, single official now is the goal backup, trail official has the big picture. Don't forget to view more training videos on the U.S. Lacrosse Central Hub at uslacrosse.arbitersports.com and like our Facebook page at facebook.com/menslaxofficials.